Hello everyone, my name is Daisuke, and today we'll be discussing the ethical and moral questions regarding a human head transplant procedure, as well as introducing you to the doctor and patient themselves. I will also briefly go over some of the obstacles regarding this sort of procedure, and how it is expected to be carried out. Then I'll quickly give you my thoughts on the procedure. Meet Dr. Sergio Canabero. He's the Italian neurosurgeon behind the human head transplant that's supposed to take place later this year. He has supposedly been planning this operation, or at least would like it, for about 30 years, and he just recently found a volunteer. That volunteer would be a 31-year-old Valery Sprindinov. Valery is a Russian computer scientist who suffers from Wernicke-Hoffman disease, which breaks down the body's muscles and kills nerve cells that help the body function and move. As a result, Valery is currently wheelchair-bound and his muscles are wasting away. He's hoping that the operation will allow him to walk and be mobile again. The operation is expected to take about 36 hours and will require over 150 surgeons. The body will be received from a brain-dead donor, and the operation is expected to take place in December of this year, 2017. As long as Dr. Canabero can find a place to hold the operation, as there are many moral issues and questions regarding this irregular procedure, and he's having trouble finding a country to hold this operation in. So how will the operation go? To start, Valery's head will be frozen to prevent cell death, and his major arteries will be connected to tubes to keep the blood flowing. This operation involves the cutting of the spinal cord and the repairing and fusing of Valery's spinal cord to the donor's spinal cord. The spinal cords will be fused with polyethylene glycol, which supposedly promotes the regrowth of cells in the spinal cord. After all the major arteries and such have been attached to the donor's body, Valery's skin and the skin of his donor will be stitched together, and Valery will be kept in a coma for a few weeks, as the spinal cord heals and fuses with the donors. But this operation definitely digs up some deep moral and ethical questions. There are a number of things that could go wrong during the operation, as well as a number of issues that need to be addressed if the operation is indeed successful. For instance, what if it works? This operation could surely save lives, especially the lives of people suffering from diseases and medical issues relating to cancer and paralysis, such as Valery. But what about rules and regulations? What would have to be put into place if this operation were to be a success? Would it become a new form of plastic surgery? People could simply just switch their bodies for cosmetic reasons or for the thrill of it. Who would be eligible for this kind of procedure? Just those in need of medical help, or those who wish to change their appearance or swap bodies with someone for other reasons? How sick do you have to be to get a head transplant? What are the qualifications? How many times can you undergo a head transplant procedure? And what about Valery? If this operation were to be a success, what could happen to Valery? He could have several issues coping with having a new body when he wakes up. What if the shock of having a new body is too much for his mind to take? What if he develops mental issues as a result of this operation because of all of the shock involved with it? Also, what if Valery were to have offspring? His offspring would have his donor's DNA, so would the donor's family have any rights to Valery's potential children? There are also plenty of potential obstacles and problems with this kind of procedure, and there are a number of things that could go wrong and result in Valery's death. For instance, Dr. Thomas Cochrane, who is the director of neuroethics at the Center for Bioethics at Harvard Medical School, stated, "We're not anywhere closer to solving the problem of connecting the brain to the spinal cord." So, the idea of using polyethylene glycol to fuse spinal cords hasn't really been tested yet. All we know is that it promotes the growth of cells in the spinal cord. This doesn't mean that Valery's and the donor's spinal cords will actually fuse. The donor's body could also reject Valery's head, resulting in paralysis and eventual suffocation for Valery. Not to mention the fact that only just recently have we been able to actually successfully complete this procedure on mice, and just in 2015 none of the mice had survived past the 24-hour mark. I'm not sure how long they're surviving as of now after undergoing this sort of procedure. Personally, I don't really have a side on this operation. I do see a lot of moral and ethical issues that will definitely need to be addressed and resolved if this operation is to be successful, as well as a lot of obstacles that we currently have with completing an operation of this scale in just a few short months. I don't really think we're prepared for this sort of procedure just yet in the world of science, health, and medicine, and I'm not exactly sure if this sort of procedure is ethically or morally right or correct. Sorry if this video seemed rushed. I had used this script for a school project a few weeks back, and I figured I could edit it and re-record the audio and use it here on YouTube because I find this whole procedure interesting. If you'd like to hear more about this operation, you can check out the links provided in the description. I could always make a future discussion video that goes more in depth into this procedure. However, when I researched this operation, there wasn't really much info on exactly how the procedure is going to be done yet, and there seemed to be a lot of uncertainty about the whole operation. So, I guess we'll see if it actually happens in December or not, and maybe I'll make a second video then, discussing what happened and everything. Thank you all for listening, and if you made it this far into the video, consider giving this video a like. And if you're interested in supporting my channel or looking at some of my artwork, check out my Patreon link in the description, as well as the link to my latest speed draw. And yeah, what do you guys think? Should Valery undergo this dangerous and risky procedure? Do you guys think that we're ready for this kind of operation? Is this fusing of science fiction and reality too soon? What kind of problems do you see with this operation? Comment your thoughts down in the description, and I might reply back. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.